So I gotta be honest, Loner Life probably had one of the dumbest near-death Isekai MC experiences, but the more I think of it, the more I'm willing to say, despite how silly and ridiculous they almost killed off the MC, and that's not an exaggeration, he had a sliver of HP left. It might also be one of the most realistic ways an MC in a show like this, an Isekai world, would happen, because really take a step back. Whether you understand Isekai mechanics as it stands and we were thrown into an environment, or you're brand new to it, if you were given an arsenal of abilities, like imagine casually waking up in our own world and we can now fly. Let's be 100%. Most would probably end up killing themselves, not intentionally, but because, oh, I can now burn things. Oh shit, everything's now on fire and it burns me alive. Or in Haruka's case, he got a little too high up and he didn't know how to land. And if it wasn't for the trees bracing his fall, he actually would have died there. And I don't think there would have been a second chance. I don't think there would have been a, okay, you get another like, it would have been a game over. But the more I think of it, as stupid as his near-death experience was, that's probably how most Isekai MCs would actually do things if we weren't writing stories to follow for long periods of time. You know, I have those full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see my full and good thoughts on these episodes over there exclusively. Now, it's kind of weird, because I truly walked into this episode thinking this was episode 3. We're at episode 4 already. I understand that we're in this weird ballpark where some shows are starting before the previous season even ends. But I'm in a situation where I have shows like Shangri-La Frontier just dropping its first episode, and other shows like this dropping its 4th. The timeline for this anime season just doesn't make sense. We're like halfway through this month. What the hell is going on? I just want to throw that out there. Maybe I'm the only one who's a little frazzled by everything going on here, but Jesus. So this episode, I think, really sells me on this show. Because 2 and 3 definitely did, but there's something about seeing the dynamic of what Haruka's gonna offer as an MC now that he's definitely forced out of the loner lifestyle. Now, at his core, he probably genuinely believes what he says, like, yeah, I enjoy being alone, but he keeps getting roped farther and farther in helping, and they actually introduce a lot into this episode. Now, it was either the end of episode 3 or the end of episode 2. We did see someone, I think it was after the credits, get killed, which, I don't know who the hell they killed, but I mean, we got delinquents, we got a lot of scummy people probably in this world. And there's a skill that gets confirmed in this episode called Hijack, I believe is what it's called. So if you have the skill, which our class rep does have, you are able to kill someone and steal their abilities, which is pretty messed up, but honestly, if you give me that in a video game, I would 100% use it. So, in a way, if you look at Haruka, he kind of has a similar ability to Hijack, but in the form of his packing skill. So he has a few different types of magic now because, you know, he used packing on ground or wind, and now he can use earth magic, wind magic, etc. Where with Hijack, you actually have to kill. And by the end of the episode, we have the delinquents who basically were initially going for class rep and the girls. Currently, they're now going to go after the nerds because they want their skills. And unfortunately, the jocks are kind of in the general area. The jocks are probably going to try to protect the nerds, but someone's dying. Like, here's the thing. Someone's already died in the show in terms of either last episode or the episode before. But now that we actually have a pretty good idea of the characters and the different pairings, it is going to be interesting to see who's going to bite the dust first, because someone definitely is. We on one hand reach the city, so, you know, we could assume there's guards and stuff, but what are guards going to do against super overpowered Isekai MCs? Like, they're not going to be able to do much, we're going to be honest here. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, and because all I know is that apparently the source material, it is a little more brutal than how the anime's made it. Personally, I like how the anime's doing things. I love the comedic and comfy charm of this. And to be honest, if stuff does end up getting darker, I honestly think it will hit even harder because of how things have been up to this point. So it will be interesting to see what they do for sure. But overall, Haruka as an MC, I want you to take a look at what the poster image for the show actually is. Because when I saw that, I thought to myself, okay, hopefully it's a funny harem, because Jesus, this is just another one of those shows where how the hell did this stupid MC get 13 million women to follow him? And what we ended up getting was actually an MC that I'm like, man, this dude could probably request anything and at least a third of the women would probably do it at this point. Haruka as an MC is like a very enjoyable MC because he legitimately means what he says about wanting to be alone, but he's also a decently good guy who will help you if needed. I mean, look at what happened near the end of the episode. So he basically has an Isekai event pop up. He's like, there's a bunch of people who need help. They could be bandits. We don't want to get ourselves killed. After class rep gives the whole ordeal, he's like, okay, sure, I'll go save them. And basically, he does what I thought was going to happen in the latest episode of Grieving Soul, where I thought he was just going to crash through the monster and save the day. That's kind of what he did here. And we also get the confirmation that his stamina caps are quite rare, and that's good knowledge, because I guess if you're winded or wounded, you just eat a couple mushrooms and you're back at 100% stamina. Just in general, I think they did a lot of little things throughout this episode, and I think they've really found their footing with this show. The first couple of episodes, still a little new, still a little unsure where you're going, but if you look at 3 and 4, it feels confident in what it's trying to pull, and it creates a very enjoyable atmosphere. On one hand, you have the intense threats of, oh my god, these delinquents are actually killing people, they're going to attempt to kill, if not do worse things before killing the girls. There's a lot of things there, and it will be interesting because up to this point, Haruka really hasn't had to do much as an MC in terms of intense things, and if you look at, he was actually very scared it was the delinquents at first when the jocks were approaching. Now, here's the thing. I actually believe that when push comes to shove to deal with these characters, he's gonna freeze up, because I think he's legitimately scared. He's overpowered. We see him one-punching man his way through this damn forest. But his social anxiety towards, I think, certain characters is gonna be a downfall for him until he overcomes it. So hopefully no one's gonna die if he does freeze up, but it is probably gonna be a character turning point for him going forward, but only time will tell. Either way, for a show that I didn't really expect much out of with the first episode, and honestly, it's continued to slowly climb up the enjoyment ranking for me over the past few weeks. This show has honestly kind of become like a comfort show for me, where I think it's not the best show of the season. I don't think it's going to be the best show of the year or one of the best shows, but it's something I'm generally looking forward to every single Thursday, and it makes me incredibly happy. I love the simplistic, if not cute, art direction that they've gone for, and because now that we're getting into some more intense territory, I honestly think this art style and art direction and what we've come to expect from the show will hit even harder when we start seeing not just some random people get stabbed, but maybe someone from the girls group or the nerds or even the jocks, because they all seem genuinely good people, and unfortunately, bad people are about to do horrible things to them. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Are you enjoying it as much as me, or has this show started to fall off for you after 4 episodes? Let me know. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Joe Gaming Axe, Troy, Rikamatsu, Jeffo369, Game Senpai, Burn, and we also have Iciel Cicero. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.